Hello students. Today I'll just teach you about the physiological lobes or the segments of liver, which are also known as true lobes of liver, and it's also known as the functional lobes of liver. Okay, like unlike the anatomical division, which is right and left lobe, which are not equally sized. We all know that. The right lobe is 5/6 of the total part and total liver, as well as the left lobe is 1/6 of the total liver. But here each of these lobes are equally sized. Okay, that is the understanding here. And it is basically done, or this particular division is based on three important components of liver anatomy, that is D, A and V. Okay, so D stands for hepatic ducts, hepatic duct. Okay, and the A stands for the hepatic artery, hepatic artery, and finally the V stands for portal vein. So this particular the physiological lobes or the segments is based on the confluence of these three structures. Okay, so we all know that these three structures are together named as portal triads. Portal triads. Okay, and like every segment of this liver will have separate branches of hepatic artery and separate branches of a portal vein, as well as a separate tributary of hepatic ducts. Okay, that is the understanding. And if a particular artery gets blocked, it will be for a particular segment alone. You cannot, it will be easy for to diagnose which particular segment of the liver has been blocked in its circulation. Okay, so that is an understanding here. So ultimately the liver has got, there are eight total segments. Eight total segments are made in the liver. Okay, so now we'll see each of these eight segments. Okay, so first we need to understand how these eight segments are being divided. Okay, so for to understand that, we need to go through some imaginary lines being made on the surface of liver. Okay, so see, this is anterior surface. Okay, and here you can see, um, of course this is the right lobe and here is the left lobe. Okay, so this particular right lobe and left lobe division is based on the falciform ligament, isn't it? Okay, but the imaginary plane goes from one particular notch in the inferior border called as cystic notch. Okay, cystic notch, which is present here, up to a structure or a groove which is present in the anterior superior surface of the liver, that is the groove for inferior vena cava. Of course it is in the posterior aspect. Okay, so here is the fundus of gallbladder. So the line which is connecting, okay, in imaginary line which is connecting the you know cystic notch in the inferior border, and it goes along the anterior surface as well as superior surface to reach the groove for inferior vena cava on the posterior surface. So this is the first imaginary plane which you should remember here. Okay, the second imaginary plane is present in the posterior surface. Okay, posterior surface, you can see here. Okay, so this is the posterior view of the liver. Okay, So here we have, this is a part of the falciform ligament. Okay, and here is the left coronary ligament and the left triangular ligament, and here is the right coronary ligament as well as the right triangular ligament. Okay, here is the inferior vena cava. Okay, inferior vena cava, and here we have the gallbladder on the inferior surface. Okay, or the fossa of our gallbladder, you can say. Okay, then we have here the porta hepatis. This is the porta hepatis. Okay, the porta hepatis, and we have the ligamentum venosum on the side of the caudate process of the liver, and here is the ligamentum teres. Okay, so and this forms the caudate lobe. Okay, this part forms the caudate lobe. Okay, the second imaginary plane goes through the fossa for gallbladder. Okay, as well as near the edge of the caudate lobe. Okay, so this particular here we have this is the group for inferior vena cava. Here we have the first imaginary plane which is coming from the other side. So this particular line, okay, this particular line here, okay, which is going through like this. Okay, and the in the anteriorly we have a line, the same line continuing here. So from cystic notch to the groove for inferior cava. So these lines will divide the whole liver into two equal lobes. First, two equal lobes. I hope you remember that the anatomical division, that is right and left lobe, they are not equal in size. Okay, they are unequal in size. The left lobe is very small compared to the right lobe. Okay, now this particular as I told you earlier, before, this particular division is based on the branching of portal vein as well as the hepatic artery and the hepatic ducts. Okay, so now this forms the right lobe. Now this is the right lobe, as I said you, and this whole forms the left lobe. Okay, this whole forms the left lobe. We'll take another picture of this. Okay, to easy to understand. Okay, here we'll complete the picture. Okay, for a while. Okay, I just will mark it in the brown. Okay, okay, okay. So this one is the cystic notch here, where you can see the fundus of gallbladder. Okay, you can shade it here. Okay, and this is the main line which divides the liver into two important lobes, that is right and left lobe. Okay, and now we'll see the segments. Okay, so both the the right lobe is thicker in size here. Okay, from like it is both superiorly and inferior, superiorly inferiorly as well as anterior posteriorly it is bulk. Okay, so we'll divide it into anterior part and a posterior part. Okay, okay, so this becomes the anterior part and this is the posterior part. Okay, and similarly the left lobe will divide, okay, into a medial part. This is medial part, and this one is the medial part, and this one is the lateral part. Okay, medial part and lateral part, and here we have an anterior part and a posterior part.